The history of Isanapura, the city of Shiva, begins in the 7th century CE. At that time, the early Khmer kingdom of Bapnom, known from Chinese chronicles as Funan, was observed by its former vassal, Chenla. The center of power shifted northward from Viathapura in the lower Mekong to a new capital founded by King Isanavarman I around 616–627 CE. The kingdom of Chenla, which preceded the Angkor Empire, lasted from the mid-5th to the 8th century. Its state religion was Shaivism, enriched with elements of the other Hindu traditions, Buddhism, local ancestor cults, and animistic beliefs. The principal sources for the religious beliefs of that era are the inscriptions discovered in the temples of Isanapura, written in Sanskrit and Old Khmer language. They mention both Hindu deities and local non-Khmer gods alongside with the supernatural beings. The most widespread artistic form reflecting the religious and mythological worldview of the Chenla's people was the bas-reliefs carved into the brick walls of the temples. It was in the 7th century that the motif of the Indra's flying palace, the adobe of gods and the seats of the transcendent ruler first appeared among the Khmers. Artists use it allegorically to express the link between the deified earthly king, the Devaraja, and Indra surrounded by the 33 deities in his celestial palace in the high realms. Of the 186 structures in the Sambor Prei Kuk archaeological complex, 11 have an octagonal plan and were designed according to the principles set out in the ancient Indian architectural treatises. They are believed to represent Indra's flying octagonal palace, the Vimana Trivishtapa. On the walls of these octagonal temples appear multi-tiered structures. The upper stories are occupied by the deities looking out through rounded chaitya windows, a form borrowed from the Indian architecture, while on the base Garuda, flanked by the rows of the mythical Hamsa birds, holds the palace aloft. The identity of the figures inside the palace remains uncertain and is still debated. They may represent supreme Hindu deities, Avalokiteshvara, Harihara, or other beings. Well-preserved freestanding sculptures from the height of the Chenla kingdom are relatively rare. Far more numerous are the Shiva lingams, sacred symbols of the god Shiva that once stood in the sanctuaries. The palace of Isanavarman I in the new capital has not survived. It is thought to have been built of wood, while the city temple concept reserved the fire brick primarily for religious buildings. This royal residence is mentioned in the mid-7th century Chinese chronicle known as the Book of Sui, which describes a great hall in Isanapura from which the king conducted affairs of state. Remains of the structure have been identified on the large central mount within the moated urban zone of Isanapura. In 781 CE, under Shaivism II, the capital was moved from Isanapura to the newly founded city of Indrapura, which became the main political center of a reunited Chenla until the end of the 8th, beginning of the 9th century. Isanapura nevertheless retained its status as an important religious and regional center. Yet as the new capital of Angkor grew in size and influence, Isanapura's importance steadily declined. Its population dwindled, and the temple's administrative buildings, fortifications and irrigation structures were gradually overgrown by the jungle. By the end of the 9th century, the former capital had finally fallen into decay and was abandoned.